Welcome back to another video where we're going to talk all about your visibility because, hey, that's why we're here, right? If you're running a business, you want to become more visible, especially online, so that you can start attracting those ideal clients and customers. So I want to talk to you about the number one thing you can do as of now to become more visible online. And there's so many ways to become visible. Let's face it. You might even have the shiny object syndrome where you try and do too many things. And again, I've spoken about that in the past by just focusing on one or two strategies to become more visible and being consistent with it over and over again. That's what's going to help you to become more visible. Now, the number one thing that I want to talk about, which is so important to become more visible online, is videos. Okay. And I know you've heard this before. But I've seen so many of my clients and I've seen so many other people just constantly posting images, posting quotes, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that strategy is working for you, awesome. And if you're getting some clients through that kind of content, that is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to push that bar a little bit higher and you want to really become more visible, it's all to do with videos. Now, we're doing a Facebook Live right here, right now. You've got that option. You've got options to put videos on YouTube. You've got options to put videos on Pinterest, Instagram Stories, IGTV. Oh my gosh, there are so many options if you really think about it. But it's entirely up to you as to what you want to do. So again, just choose one or two platforms at the most where you can start showing up with videos consistently. Now, again, when we talk about showing up on videos, we have that fear, okay? Fear of becoming visible, fear of showing up, fear of being judged. All of those fears walk hand in hand, and it's kind of like it's forming this big cloud around you, okay? We want to get that cloud out of the way because you're focusing, moving forward. You want to become more visible because at the end of the day, if you are more visible, you can really start building a connection and a relationship with your audience and attract those clients that you so desperately want. But it won't happen unless you get out there and get out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips in order to help you dissipate this fear of judgment, dissipate this fear of being visible, and, of just showing up, because that's what it's all about. So I always talk, number one, about the 3 C's. The 3 C's, number one, you need to have clarity. So clarity about where you're going to show up, clarity about the topics that you're going to talk about. And even if it just helps you getting a calendar printed out and decide which days of the week you're going to start showing up and then what topics you're going to talk about, that is great. That is something that you can do. And also that's going to help you with the second C, commitment. Because once you've written things down on a calendar and you know when you're going to show up and what topic you're going to talk about on your videos, you are committed to do so. But then also what you can do is you can schedule them as an example on Facebook and say, these are the days I'm going to show up, come and join me live. And people are going to be there and go, oh, this is when she's going to show up. I'm going to be there to check her out. So now you're committed to those people who you said you're going to show up to, and you're going to have to do it. Nothing is going to stop you, okay? Then the last C is consistency. Consistency is absolutely key, and I've said this so many times. It almost sounds like I'm a broken record when I say it over and over again, but it is true. Because if you start showing up consistently, people are going to start taking more notice of you. And like I said in so many of my other videos, when people see you coming up over and over again, they're going to go, oh, who's this girl? I've seen her show up a couple of times. I wonder what she's talking about. Let me go and check her out. And this is where people are going to start engaging with you. And this is where people are really going to start taking note of who you are and what you do. So apart from the 3 C's, there's also another thing. Showing up on video is scary, okay? I've been there. I've been so scared sitting in front of a camera and seeing that red light coming on and going, and nothing comes out, okay? It's happened before, and that's okay. Now, the easy thing to do is to just start practicing. Start filming yourself and talk about a topic. Get comfortable talking to that camera, talking to that red light that is right there in front of you. And yes, you are going to stumble over your words. You are going to say tenses, completely wrong. I do it all the time, okay? And I'm fine with that. But you are going to have that kind of sense where, oh my gosh, I'm not quite sure if I can do this. But you're going to have to start practicing it. Maybe you're not even going to like the way you look. Maybe you're not even going to like the way that your voice sounds. But that's okay. you're going to start getting used to it. You just got to keep on practicing. So my suggestion is just practice. Take a couple of videos of yourself and go through them and see what you can improve on in order to articulate maybe what you're saying, the message that you're getting across, or maybe what else you can do in order to make sure that when you talk about a topic, you stay on par, you stay on topic and not veer off and start talking about other things. I've been there, I've done that myself as well. So you can really just start practicing by recording yourself in advance and checking out your videos and then see where you can adjust that. So that's the first step that I want to say. And then also the other thing is when you start thinking about the audience rather than about yourself, it's going to make it so much easier to show up on videos. And also it's going to make it so much easier when you become consistent and showing up consistently, because you're not going to think about yourself anymore. You're not going to think about your hair, your makeup. Yeah, okay, maybe put some makeup on if you want to be on video. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to think about the audience. You're going to think about the message that you want to give them. So again, when you start with videos, start thinking about your audience and start showing up for them. It's going to make it so much easier. And also it's going to help you a little bit thinking that, oh, you know, what if people judge me? It's going to make it a lot easier to get over that belief. Then the other thing I want to say is also think about the engagement. When you have an audience and when you start with doing Facebook Lives or IGTVs, in the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of engagement, and that's okay. It's where consistency comes in with that. If you're consistent, the engagement will start building up. People will start taking note of what you do and what you say, but if you're just starting out and you're not getting that engagement, don't let it drag you down, okay? Everybody starts at the bottom. Everybody starts working their way up. So the first couple of videos, I promise you're not going to get a lot of engagement. And if you do, awesome, well done, great for you. But if you don't get that engagement, don't let it drag you down in any way. You just know that you've got to be consistent and you've got to show up every single time that you've scheduled and said you're going to show up for your audience. And I promise you the engagement will start from there. And the last thing, I know I've spoken about the fears. Fears is one of the things that can either stop you or it can just completely get you to give up. Because like I said, what if you don't get engagement putting out your first Facebook Live video? So now you feel like, oh, this is not working, I'm just going to give up. Hey, this is not where you're going. Consistency, okay? You've got to keep on going over and over again. What about the fear of getting judged? Well, here's a little bit of news for you. You get judged all the time, okay? Not even just online, but you get judged just by walking in the road. People judge you sometimes even in the back of their heads without even knowing that they're judging you. So you've got to just be understandable with the fact that, hey, I'm okay with people judging me. I'm not here in order to show up for those who are judging me. I'm showing up for those who want to take note of what I have to say and who want to listen and who need my services and who need my help. So you've got to be very open-minded with that as well, of the fear of judgment, okay, where it comes from, what stories you're telling yourself. And at the end of the day, you just got to be open-minded and just go for it. Just try it out and you'll see that the fear of judgment completely dissipates. As an example, when I started doing Facebook Lives and I had to share it on my personal page, I was fearful of what other people on my personal page would think of me when they start seeing me show up on a constant basis. But then I quickly realized that, you know what, those people that judge me, they're not the ones who really needs my services. So those are the ones that I wouldn't be concentrating on. I would be concentrating on those who actually come back to me and say, thank you so much, this was a very helpful video. And those are the people that I really want to connect with. So these are the tips that I wanted to share with you. If you really want to become more visible, the number one way to do it is not just through posts, not just through lovely images on your feeds, it's through videos. It's to build that connection. People are going to see how passionate you are. They're going to see what you do, what you look like. They're going to see the energy that comes through with the topic you're discussing with them. So by all means, go and try. Challenge yourself. Do one Facebook Live at least. Hey, we're at the end of the week. Try for next week, okay? So try and do one Facebook Live next week, and you're going to see it is actually really a lot of fun. I give you a challenge here, so let me know how you get on. And I will see you very soon again next week. Thank you so much. Take care.